Hey again, guys, it's Holy Moly. This is going to be part 2 of my sort of feminine hygiene and caring for your area down there video. So this is basically just me telling you my tips and guidelines to keeping yourself hygienic, clean, fresh, and safe, I guess? Okay, so the last part I talked about cleansing, I talked about feminine deodorants, and I talked about odor control. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was tampons. As you all probably know, tampons are very effective when it comes to helping smell. When you're on your period, generally it can smell. It's just, blood has a natural odor, kind of metallic. Now, when you can regulate how that smells by using tampons. Really, the worst part of the odor from blood happens when the blood hits the air. So if you're using a tampon, that blood is getting absorbed while it's still in your body and not hitting the air, so you're going to have less odor from your period. Now, with that, it's also less safe. Tampons are not usually pH balanced. There is one brand of pH balanced tampons that I have yet to find. I've been on the lookout for them. They're very good for sensitive skin. They can be somewhat irritating. Again, with fragrances, do not use any kind of feminine products with fragrance, and the same goes for tampons and pads. Get things that are unscented. They are the least likely to cause you any odor or irritation. Now, tampons obviously should not be left in more than 6 hours. You can leave them in up to 8 hours. That's a general guideline. I know I personally have slept in them before. It's not a good idea. You risk getting toxic shock syndrome, and it's something that I need to not do. But, yeah, the less time you leave it in, the less risk you have of getting complications such as infection or toxic shock syndrome, which is really hard to say, by the way. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about, or maybe last thing, I may think of something else before the end of this video, that is infections, urinary tract infections, which are very common in women. Especially once you've had one urinary tract infection, it is extremely easy to get a second one. Most women that have already had one will develop more than one in their lifetime. I know I'm a frequent sufferer of urinary tract infections. It's just, I think, genetic. I'm susceptible to them. But there are ways that you can prevent them before they happen. Now, this will not treat in any way. This will not, I don't know why my hair's being so weird today. This will not treat a existing infection, but it will help prevent it. And that is cranberries. Cranberries are extremely good at keeping bacteria in your urinary system, in your bladder. It keeps bacteria from clinging on to the walls of your bladder. So what it's going to do is every time you urinate, it's going to keep that bacteria coming out of your body instead of lingering in there to create an infection. So I actually take cranberry supplements, which are very concentrated. It's a very kind of high dose of cranberry extract. You can also drink cranberry juice. You can eat cranberries. Anything cranberry juice cocktails are a little less potent, but I definitely recommend cranberries because they're great at preventing, and it also takes the edge off any burning or irritation when you do have a urinary tract infection. So it won't clear it, it won't treat it, but it will prevent it and it will help the symptoms. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is keeping the other side of down there clean. And this is also extremely important and very relevant when it comes to keeping your feminine parts clean. Let me just be extremely blunt here. You need to wash your butt. There's no getting around it. The the most common mistake women make is not cleansing thoroughly enough in that area. And what that does, especially, now let me tell you what you can do to prevent this. um, Thongs. Thongs, in my opinion, are not hygienic. Besides the fact that they're uncomfortable, every once in a while they're fine, but all that, the constant rubbing back and forth, it is going to bring bacteria from the other part from your butt up to the region where you have your vagina. So what it's doing is transferring bacteria, and if that gets into your urinary tract or gets into your vagina, you can have infections, you can have irritation. You're basically putting bad bacteria in there, and it's very unsafe. So I recommend just cotton underwear. They're not the sexiest things in the world. They're really not. Plain cotton underwear, but sexy. I would take clean and safe and hygienic over sexy. So I would definitely recommend that. Washing. You want to cleanse that area extremely well. You don't have to use something fragrance-free necessarily for that area, although you do want to use fragrance-free products for your front. I have a separate loofah, a smaller loofah, for the back area. You just want to load up your loofah with body wash, or you can just use your hand, I guess, but personally I think that's kind of gross. And you want to cleanse that area pretty thoroughly, and that's just going to help, keep any bacteria away. The other thing you can do is baby wipes, or, cleansing wipes. I keep them in my purse, I keep them by my bathroom, I keep them everywhere, basically. You can use baby wipes, you can use cleansing wipes. I tend to opt for fragrance-free, of course, but ones with fragrance aren't necessarily bad because you're not putting anything in. But, that really helps sort of wipe away any excess bacteria after you use the bathroom. It's a little more cleanlier, a little more clean, and more hygienic than just using toilet paper alone. So those are my tips. Besides that, I probably have more, but I can't really think of them. Acidophilus, that's one. And acidophilus is a probiotic supplement. I take that as well. It's very good for regulating health down there, as well as preventing urinary tract infections, because it keeps the level of good bacteria regulated, I guess. It keeps more good bacteria than bad bacteria in there. So that's all for now. I hope you guys found this informative, and I hope that you are clean. Yeah. That's my video, and I will talk to you guys later, hopefully about makeup this time. Makeup or beauty. This was not a beautiful subject, but, it has to be talked about because, honestly, like, you can't be beautiful if you have horrible, horrible odor and bacteria and stinkiness. So, yeah, that's it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!